Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Seen Beyond and Through with Monty. Today, I'm going to talk about a very disturbing subject. Incident that happened along with the young man, George Floyd, who was murdered at the hands of law enforcement. And this particular incident happened around the same time. Context.
I am speechless. I'm really speechless about what we're seeing on television this morning. She was reacting to two disturbing racially charged videos that are causing outrage today. I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life. This video, taken in New York's Central Park, shows a white Wall Street executive confronting an avid bird watcher who is black after he asked her to put her dog on a leash. Please take your phone off. Please don't come close. Can I take a picture of the cops? Please call the cops. Amy Cooper calls 911, jerking hard on her dog's collar as he struggles. There is an African-American man playing in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog. Suddenly, her voice changes as if she's in imminent danger. I'm being threatened by a man in the ramble. Please send the cops immediately. The incident happened in the ramble, a woodland area of Central Park, very popular with bird watchers. It's mandatory for dogs to be on a leash in the ramble because they could frighten or kill the birds. I spoke with the bird watcher, Harvard graduate Chris Cooper, today.
If some white lady calls and says there's a black man near me, panic responds, that costs a lot of us our lives.
The Wall Street executive is paying a high price. Today, her investment firm fired her, and she returned her dog to an animal shelter. I want to publicly apologize to everyone, she said today. I am not a racist. I did not mean to harm that man in any way. My entire life is being destroyed.
Really, she believes that her entire life is being destroyed. That statement alone speaks volumes because what it says is that it's all about her. She's not looking at how his life could have been destroyed. She's not looking at how thousands, perhaps millions of black lives throughout the history of America has been destroyed. But let me get to where I want to take this because I am extremely disappointed in him. Ladies and gentlemen, apparently he's feeling some type of sorrowment for her. He feels uncomfortable that she has become a hate figure and lost her job. Really? Christian Cooper recounts incident with Amy Cooper before Central Park video. Christian Cooper is asking people to stop making death threats against women who called the cop. Okay, that's extremely problematic because her calling the cops was a way to inflict harm upon him. She's seen the videos of police brutality, of black men being killed. And she knew exactly what could have happened. That is the reason why she specifically stated an African American male is trying to harm me and my dog. I want you to read this. Okay, this is a response to him being sorrowful now and wanting people to back off Amy. It is sad when we as African Americans still take the submissive approach to dealing with racism. He is lucky that he is not a hashtag today, because that is exactly what she was trying to do. Get the right bad cop, and we would have been viewing 2 homicides by police this weekend instead of 1. Exactly. 100% factual. No lies detected. Another one down here, Francis Powell goes on, you're absolutely right. She was deliberate in her actions to either have him arrested or to be killed. At that particular time, right then and there, she knew exactly what she was doing. She knew exactly what the police would have done to him. And it's obvious that she wanted some type of violence to happen to him. For black people to take this approach that I want this to stop with her, I want it to end, I want you guys to lay off her, is like the late great Dr. Francis Cress Wesleyan stated, it's some type of mental illness. When you forgive your oppressors, when you want things to back off them, you don't want them to be punished for their actions, you just want to let go, forgive and forget, that shows mental illness right there. It's just very difficult to stomach that this black man, he must have seen the deaths of Eric Garner, Orlando Castile, Sandra Bland. Many of these black people who were killed, murdered by law enforcement. And for you to now take a very passive approach to say, stop making death threats, let her off, we're being too hard on her. Oh my gosh. The man who filmed his racially charged encounter with a woman in Central Park says he is uncomfortable that she has become a hate figure and lost her job. Well, Christian, she bought this on herself. This is her doing. She's the one who chose to call the cops to harm you. People, I truly cannot stand a weak black man in a racist society being docile, being very weak, overly forgiving, improperly forgiving. It just does not work in combating racism. It adds to it, actually. Just being docile and being very timid. I think a lot of you knew this who follow me. That was my stance against Janet Jackson. But that's it from my previous post right there. You can go back to them. But we're talking about Christian Cooper right now. My God. He's asking people to stop making death threats against a woman who called the cops after she put your life in danger. Basically what she was doing was that making a death threat really against you. She accused you of harming her and her dog. Now, I wanted to look into this and to see why this particular man was so forgiving. And I checked his Facebook page. Okay, as I looked through them, now it's understandable. Not surprising. Interestingly enough, he posted a picture of Eric Garner. Pardon me, this is Tamir Rice. This is Tamir Rice, the teenager who was killed. You posting a picture of what happened to him, then you should have known better. Now it's even more excusable because you were aware of it. All of a sudden now you have this compassion for this white female who called the cops to get you hurt. But let's look at his pictures again, and you'll get a reason why, as to he was just so forgiving and so forgiving of the dominant society. Okay, a rainbow flag. We all know what the symbol is. Let me just say this. Most gay black men who are Afrocentric, who are down for the cause, who are black first, gay second, they do not rock with this flag here because they know that within the LGBT community there is a lot of racism. Hence making drug user Matthew Shepard the face of the gay cause, strictly because of the way he looked. Now, I say drug user with Matthew Shepard, not that I'm saying that he deserved that. However, let's face it, if it was a black male, anyone other than white, blonde hair, and blue-eyed, young, fairly attractive, they would never have made them the face of the gay movement to push legislation. So Matthew Shepard was put in the forefront because of the way that he looked. Being young, white, good-looking, blonde. He was used to propel a movement forward. Here goes Christian Cooper again. This explains a lot as to why he is so willing to forgive his oppressor. Says a great deal. Graduated from Harvard? Okay. Let me just tell you one thing about graduating from Harvard. People say that education is the key. To a degree it is, but it's not the key to ending racism. Education, whether you're from Harvard, Yale, or whatever, is going to put you in a position to get a good job. It is not going to give you chutzpah, guts, fortitude. It's not going to make you brave. It's not going to give you mental and emotional endurance to fight systemic racism, to fight institutional racism. It's not going to make you woke, wise, or conscious. It will give you a degree to put you in a position to make a great job. But don't be fooled by graduating from these elite universities. Somehow it's going to make you a better person to deal with racism. No, it will not. Being black is not exhausting at all. White people are exhausting. That's what they do. Exhaust others. Exhaust resources, exhaust themselves, and their obsession with dominance. Whiteness is an exhaustion. Okay. Okay, I want to touch on something else. This is before they realized, or before I don't think they're aware of that his stance now. Now he says, when I see things like the Amy Cooper video, I think of how many black people have been falsely accused in the same way, but did not have the evidence to provide otherwise. I think of how many have been arrested or put in jail or killed. She could have killed him. It's frightening. He should have realized that. Yes, he could have been killed. We have evidence, it's on videotape, and now he wants people to back off. Crazy. This is serious. Happened today in Manhattan. As a public defender for over a decade, I have tried cases where the Manhattan DA used a hysterical 911 call as a categorical evidence of guilt. Usually there's no video like this to refute it. We have a video, and now this weak man wants us to just throw that to the side, excuse it, back off, and leave her alone to continue to live her racist life. A reminder of what happened to George Floyd is what Amy Cooper hoped would happen to Christian Cooper. And he doesn't see that. He wants to see the good in people. Her actions are what brought her the death threats. Her actions is what caused her dog to be taken away. Her actions is what caused her to lose her job. It is not black people or people protesting. It was her actions. What doesn't a 57-year-old grown man understand with that? What happens? White lady calls the cops on black man. Cops believe her. He gets arrested and then arraigned. Outrageous bail gets set. His family cannot afford to buy his freedom. He gets sent to Rikers Island, where he sits for any number of days, months, or years. And there are probably people there right now on Rikers Island who were sent there by the Amy Coopers of the world. And he wants us to just forgive it. Leave it alone. Let her go about her merry way, and he'll go about his merry way. How weak can you get? How weak is that? And she goes around stating that her life is ruined. How dare she say such a thing? She's still alive. She still has a degree. She's still white. She can get another job. She's making it like she's the victim now. His life was ruined by such an action as hers. Emmett Till, 14-year-old boy, murdered at the hands of this white woman to the right there, who falsely accused him. That's a ruined life. This is what these type of actions cause. There's been hundreds, if not thousands, of Emmett Tills that we just do not know about, that were never filmed. This is his mother. Her life was ruined. That's what I call a ruined life. Not someone who's able-bodied, who still has a degree, who's still white, who's still young, who can go out there. Save your damn tears for yourself. I have no sympathy for you at all. The more death threats you get, the merrier. The more threats you get, the merrier. The more name calling you get, Amy, the merrier. This is a ruined life right there that she had to live with the rest of her life. The mother of Emmett Till. This is Emmett Till. And you're saying that your life is ruined? Spare me the bullshit. Learn from this, if you can. Christian Cooper urges an end to the threats targeting white women who accosting him. No. Don't let up. We're not going to let up. I have no sympathy for her at all. Absolutely zero. Keep the death threats coming. Keep the threats coming. Keep the name calling coming. Because she deserves it. She brought it upon herself. These are lives destroyed. Their family and loved ones are lives ruined. Not Amy's. I'm seeing beyond and through. What's going to happen right now? A weak Negro like this? Expect a face-to-face meeting. Expect a fake tearful apology. Expect a hug. All of that right there. That's seeing beyond and through. That's what you can't expect. I'm sure that would happen. And he's just that type. If he went so far to ask people to forgive her, to let up on her, that he's uncomfortable with her being a symbol of hate, which what she did was a very hateful action that tried to get him killed, injured. He's just that type. He doesn't realize that there are many people like her. Many like her. Who are still out there. Who need to be taught a lesson. We shouldn't let up. Let this reverberate loud and through. Allow them to be taught that lesson right there. Her white skin privilege is going to allow her to go about in the world of America and get another job. She'll be able to get another dog. She'll be able to live out her merry racist ways. Black people do not have the power to stop her from getting a job. What is happening with her is only temporary. This is her temporary situation. So why would a black man, and I'm taking he's a gay black man too, who has experienced discrimination as being black, as being gay, ask people to stop targeting her? How weak as F can you get? Seriously. My gosh. You know, people like this, I swear, he would have just done a lot better just by shutting up. You know, I mean, if you're going to come off with this stance right there, you're taping what she's doing right there. We have all the evidence right there. And yet you go back on your word. You don't stand for anything. You take a very weak approach. I want you guys to back away. I feel threatened. I feel sorry for what she's done. What about the millions of people, though? The millions of black lives lost because of what people like the Amy's have done. Believe me, that just shows right there, there's just a disconnect. There's a disconnect right there. I mean, it's almost like you sympathize more with your oppressors than the people, the black victims, who was actually murdered by their actions. You know, people, with that, I cannot really stay on this story any longer. This was another edition of Seen Beyond and Through. And until next time, people, stay brave, stand to the fight, do not give up, do not ask for sympathy or leniency for your oppressors. Unlike this weak fool here, stand to the fight there. Until next time, people, I will see you beyond and through. Goodbye.